What's up everyone, Carter here, and in this video I'm going to break down exactly how I turned $10,000 into over $100,000 at age 20. Now this is actually video number 2 in a 2-part video series that I created. In video number 1 I talked about how I turned $25 into over $10,000 at age 16. If you haven't seen that video, there'll be a link in the description of this video, so definitely check that one out first. However, in this video I'm sharing my entire journey from age 17 to 20. Every business, company, side hustle, ones that were a success and ones that were a complete failure. And I hope that by creating this video and putting my story out there, that I can hopefully inspire other people around the world that you too can financially change your life even at a young age. So if you can do me a quick favor and smash that like button, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. So here's the story of my journey from age 17 to age 20. So let's flash back to 17-year-old Carter. Here I am approaching my junior year. I have a net worth of, maybe around $10,000, and all that money had been accumulated over the past 6 or 7 years just from different side hustles, companies, ventures, really kind of getting my feet wet in a bunch of different industries, websites, trying to find a way where I could create a stream of income. Now some of those businesses consisted of selling candy at school, reselling random used items on eBay, selling books on Amazon, a phone case business, a t-shirt business, a bunch of different side hustles. So here I am at 17 and I have a little bit more money to work with, which means I can take a little bit bigger risk. The bigger the risk, often the bigger reward, or potentially the bigger loss. Now from age 17 to age 18, there were a few different major businesses that I was involved in. One of those was obviously my Amazon business. There were a few different ways that I was able to create income on Amazon. One was selling used books, buying books at thrift stores, library sales, sometimes garage sales, from $1 to $2 per book. And sometimes I would sell these books on Amazon for, $15 to $20, upwards of $50 to $60 plus sometimes. So obviously a great business, especially when you're working with such high margins, and I was experimenting with other items as well, electronics, video games. I started to get into toys, and then I also tried a different business model known as private label. Now with the private label business model, you're essentially taking a generic product, let's say this tape gun, and you're taking this generic tape gun and you're putting your branded logo on it. So you're branding this generic product with your brand and then reselling it back on Amazon for a marked up price. Now this was a really cool business model. It did require more capital because you often have to place bulk orders from overseas. So obviously the more units that you order, the lower price you're gonna have to pay per unit. Now, long story short, my first 2 or 3 products with this business were a complete failure. I lost probably $1,000, $2,000 on each item. I had a phone case that failed, had some kitchen utensils that failed, just not doing the proper product research and also just not really knowing what I'm doing. And truth be told, there just wasn't as much resources. There wasn't as much selling on Amazon content out there years ago compared to today. However, I ended up finding an item I was able to buy for, I believe it was maybe like $1.80 or maybe $2 per unit, and I was selling it for $12 on Amazon. Over the next 2.5 years, I sold over $100,000 worth of that item. Obviously, that's not all profit, that's revenue, but it was really cool to be able to have a product that was successful after I had 2 or 3 that failed and lost me a good portion of income. Now business number 2 that ended up being a huge income generator for me, mainly later on in this video, was social media. When I was running my Amazon business, doing these different side hustles, I always wanted to be like a YouTuber. Like every kid grows up, I want to be the next YouTuber, entertainment, and it was meant to be that I was going to create content related to finances and selling stuff on eBay and Amazon. And so I started my Instagram and my YouTube both around the same time, building out a personal brand. I actually was known as the high school hustler. And I would just start documenting my journey. I was creating videos and content, just sharing my story, sharing my successes, my failures, documenting my journey. And when I first started, for the first year and a half, I made $0 on Instagram and YouTube. I wasn't currently monetized on YouTube because I wasn't 18 at the time. I should have been getting paid YouTube ad revenue. Long story short, I put in a lot of time and energy creating valuable content that can positively or financially change someone's life. But I did a lot. I built out a great foundation. And later on in this video, you'll see where that social media comes into play as a nice stream of income for myself. So here we are. I just turned age 18, through the different side hustles that I had, Amazon business, a couple other businesses I was still running from the past. I would say I got my net worth anywhere from probably $20,000 to $25,000. Now at age 18, this is my senior year in high school, so I'm in 12th grade. This is where things start to pick up a little bit. I had just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so this was a huge milestone for me. I had probably posted over 150 videos on that channel, and the cool thing is the videos on YouTube can get views forever. I could have posted a video 2 years ago and it can still be getting views today. Now on YouTube, you can also generate ad revenue depending on the kind of content you're creating, the kind of industry you're in, and the amount of views that you're getting. You'll be able to receive ad revenue. So at that time, I was making every single month maybe $400 to $500 in ad revenue every single month, and it was a great hands-off passive stream of income for me. And it's around that time I also started the business of affiliate marketing. Now for those of you that don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's essentially the promotion of another brand's or company's product or service. In exchange for every sale that you make, you'll actually receive a commission or a kickback. So with affiliate marketing, there were 2 different ways that I approached it. I just said, you know what, this is a cool business model. Let me try. The first affiliate marketing offer I created was to promote an Amazon software called Jungle Scout. Now I actually used Jungle Scout. I had great success with it. It was how I did all my product research. So I said, you know what? Let me just create a quick tutorial. And I put up a quick video, kind of a demo showing off how the software worked and what all it did. I said, hey, if you guys are interested in joining and subscribing to Jungle Scout, use the link in the description. Every time someone would go through the link and purchase the Jungle Scout extension, I would receive a commission. Now I also did this with a good friend of mine's course. Now I had been creating a lot of content on a bunch of different subjects, and my eBay videos were getting a lot of views. I had someone reach out to me, hey, I saw you creating a lot of valuable content about making money on eBay. I have a course all about helping people get started making money on eBay. Maybe it could be a cool offer to offer your audience if they want to learn a little bit more in depth. So I said, sure. So I basically would create an eBay video. At the end of the video, I would plug this guy's course and he would give me a kickback. That ended up turning into a really nice stream of income as well. So obviously at age 18, there's still a lot going outside of my life, outside of the business. I'm a full-time high school student. I try to be a social kid. I'm on the varsity basketball team. I have a lot of passion in basketball. For those who don't know, basketball was huge for me. I was probably 50% basketball, 50% business, just because after I graduate, I'm not playing at the next level. There'll still be opportunities for me to make money. So I obviously wanted to make sure that I really got the best out of my senior year of basketball and had a great season, a great year, and then I graduated. So I graduated and all of a sudden, school's done, my basketball career is done, and I have all this time. A lot more time than I usually have. My birthday's in the middle of the summer, and throughout that summer when I turned 19, there was a lot of vacations and a little bit of stress too. I was trying to figure out what was the next step for me. And for most people out of high school, college is the next step, like no doubt. You get good grades all year and you get good SAT and ACT scores so you can get accepted into the college that you like. And for me, it was just never really a big focus. I never did too well in school. I didn't do good on the ACT. I didn't really have many options when it came to college. And basically that summer, I just enjoyed that time with my high school friends before I entered kind of the next step in my life. I didn't really have any massive jumps in my business, just very consistent growth, not stagnant, but not any crazy increases by any means. So I turned 19 that summer in July. I'm going to community college. Had a couple of friends that were going to a big university. There's a community college right next to it. I said, you know what? I don't really know what I want to do. College was something that my parents and my grandparents, at least the kids in my school, everyone was pushing it on to you. At least where I grew up, college was a for sure thing. Okay, after you graduate, you're going to college and you're gonna get a degree, and with that degree, you're gonna get a job, and you're gonna work that job as long as you can to have a stable income for your future family, which obviously makes sense. Everyone wants a stable income, but it was just far from the truth. And that first year just showed me that I think I need to do something a little bit different with my life. So I know I'm going a little bit off track, kind of getting more into my personal life and not so much the business stuff, but the reason I want to tell you about my personal life, what I'm going through is, you know, a lot of people might be going what I'm going through. Maybe they feel like college isn't for them. Maybe they're struggling on what they're gonna do after they graduate high school, what they graduate college, and I just want to let people know it's totally okay. So long story short, I enter community college. It's a great time. You're in college. It's a college town. There's tons of college kids around. There's parties and girls and just all these distractions that come with college, all the freedom. You decide when you want to go to bed, when you want to wait, just a lot of freedom that I usually wasn't used to. And so obviously I had a lot of fun. You know, I was living with 3 other guys. You know, the rent was fairly cheap. My parents were paying the rent because they agreed if I go to college, you know, they'll pay for the community college classes and my rent as well. So didn't have to pay any rent at that time. A few months go by. In school, it starts getting tough. It's a lot tougher than high school. Classes are a little bit more difficult and it starts building a little bit more pressure on me. And I'm never focusing on the lectures. They were teaching all these different subjects I wasn't interested in. I was always on my computer trying to make money, so I would never pay attention. I was cheating and it just really got to me. So, you know, the next couple months leading up to like the second half of the semester, my business was very, very stagnant. It was a little bit uncomfortable trying to run a business, you know, with other people in the house and trying to create content when the wall right behind me, my friend's trying to sleep. It was just a little bit of an awkward situation. My business, it felt like it was slipping. My YouTube channel, my Amazon business, everything that came into with college was making it more difficult. My time was limited. There were more distractions. In January, kind of the second semester, went through a heartbreak. And the next month, you know, my uncle passed away and it was just a lot was going on. And then there was a turning point in my life and in this story, and that's COVID. So in March of 2020, COVID hits. Now, it was an extremely tough time for me and, you know, for people all around the world. And people didn't know what was going on. I lived in a house with 3 other guys. They all moved back home. I decided to stay, so I was extremely lonely. My businesses were slipping. School was kind of postponed. And then I stumbled across an opportunity. Now I'm still running my Amazon business, always trying to find new products, and I was surfing through OfferUp, which is basically like a Craigslist, a buy and sell local marketplace, and I saw someone was selling this vitamin C pack for $25. And I was like, that's weird. People are selling vitamins locally. Okay, maybe people want them. And so I searched it back up, selling for $27 on Amazon. I didn't think much about it. My brain didn't connect like, hey, maybe you should try to figure out where they're buying this item from, or if you can get it for a low price. The craziest thing happened, so I go to my local grocery store and I'm getting my groceries for the week. I was getting protein powder, so I was getting protein powder, so I'm in kind of like the health aisle with the vitamins, and as I'm walking by, I see that exact vitamin C packet on the shelf, and I look at the price, $9.97. So I was like, what? I can get it here for $9.97, and that lady was selling it for $25 on OfferUp. Let me scan it on Amazon and see what it's selling for. So I scanned the barcode and the lowest price was $27 on Amazon. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit strange. So I buy 1 single unit, I go home, I list it. 20 minutes later it sells, I ship it out, I make an $8 to $9 profit after shipping and fees. And I'm like, okay, time to go buy more. I had found this item that was in high demand. People around the world were in need of vitamin C, of vitamins, and I was taking the risk to go out with COVID and everything going on, buy as many vitamins as I could. And after I sold that 1 unit, I went right back to the store and I bought 20, sold them within a day, cleared out my city. Then I started going to the biggest cities in my state, buying hundreds of vitamins, was scanning everything that vitamin. I was finding different flavors, variations, different kind of vitamins that people were in need of. I started buying hundreds of these. I would come back to my place and unload them in sometimes 70 to 80 orders a day because I would restock with 300, 400 units. I would have $4,000, $6,000 days sometimes, and I would restock just because they would just sell almost instantly. Like I could barely keep them in stock. And long story short, it led me to having a $43,000 month on Amazon, which changed my life and gave me a lot more confidence when I was down. Also at that time, I started putting more money into the stock market or investing into some publicly traded companies that I had a lot of faith in. I know Tesla, Amazon, companies that I used, and I thought, you know what, they have a good potential long term. Now that I was starting to generate a little bit more consistent income, I said, you know what, I'm either gonna reinvest this back in the business or I'm gonna put it in an investment that has the opportunity to make me more money. Now, we're entering the summer. So that school year had ended, the vitamin hype kind of died down, and I'm approaching my 20th birthday, and I make one of the biggest decisions of my life. And I tell my parents that I'm dropping out of college. From my family and the kids that I grew up with, college was a for sure thing. Like, if you didn't go to college, then people would think of you as a loser. People would think down on you. Oh, you're not going to college? How are you gonna get a job? How are you gonna be successful? How are you gonna be able to financially support yourself or at least a family in the future? And it was a really, really emotional decision for me. And I love my parents, by the way, and you know, they're still super, super supportive now, but it was just a hard decision for me to make and for my parents to understand, grandparents to understand, even friends as well. So here I am, just turned age 20. Now that I'm no longer in college, my parents agreed, you need to start picking up the bills. So I move out, find an apartment, I'm paying my own rent, you know, $900 a month, you know, utilities. And there's a lot of expenses that I wasn't used to. Approaching summer, I'm going through some tough times, you know, trying to find some new items, new side hustles. Then I approached probably what really ends up changing my life even more. Just like when COVID hit, I thought it was the end of the world. I thought that I was gonna lose everything, the businesses were gonna tank. It ended up working well, and I had this very similar situation in September 2020. At that time, I had sold probably $200,000 to $300,000 on Amazon. I'm gonna create, you know, a beginner level entry course. A lot of people messaging me, oh Carter, how can I sell on Amazon? And there's only so many text messages, video, voice messages I can send someone. So I created a beginner level course. I signed with this agency for $6,000. It was 3 months. They were gonna help me do this massive launch to my audience and build this wait list. And I did it. And right as the launch was happening, I get COVID. Like, there's just the absolute worst timing, and long story short, the launch goes awful. So maybe $1,500 worth of courses, so I lose $4,500 on that investment. I have COVID for 2 weeks, living alone. I'm just extremely depressed. I feel awful, sweating at night, awful cough. Like, it was bad. It's about late September, and I hop on the biggest opportunity of my life. And that opportunity was selling patio heaters on Amazon. I did over $140,000 a month. I'll throw some images up there. There was a massive demand for outdoor patio heaters. A lot of restaurants, because of COVID, had to move their seating outside, so they were paying outrageous amounts, and there was just not enough supply of patio heaters, especially as it was getting colder. And so I would buy them for $150 at Lowe's and sell them for $300 on Amazon the same day. I was filling up 26-foot trucks, driving to the biggest cities, clearing out the entire city. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And during that time, I also had an online community called the Selling Fast Lane, which is another great business that I've run and helped hundreds and hundreds of people start their Amazon businesses. In that community on Discord, I started posting about the patio heaters, and all of a sudden, while I was making money with patio heaters, the members of my Discord were also buying patio heaters from Lowe's, Home Depot, Academy, and making thousands and thousands of dollars a month. So it was just an amazing experience to be able to see my students, my members be able to make tons of money on Amazon. I'm making tons of money on Amazon. It was just a great time to be alive. And so with the help of the community and with the help of the members and the students, and especially the money from patio heaters, it took my net worth well over $100,000. And that is my story from age 17 to age 20. Before we go any further, there was a few key takeaways from this 3 or 4 year period that I quickly want to talk about. So the number one key takeaway, in my opinion, was that you need to have multiple streams of income. The reason being is I see one stream of income as having all your eggs in one basket. It's just very risky. It's like having a job. There could be an opportunity where the business might fail or something goes wrong, where there's no more demand for the product, that your only stream of income is gone. So if you have the opportunity to be able to try different side hustles, businesses, build other streams of income, it could be as simple as taking a little bit of money from your paycheck or your business and maybe putting it in the stock market, or I know a lot of people are putting money into crypto right now. Just an opportunity where you can hopefully build other streams of income, I think is extremely important. And that brings me to step number 2, and this ultimately comes with building long-term wealth, is to be able to find a way for your money to make more money for you. Got the stock market, crypto, those are 2 ways that I was able to strategically place some of the money that I had earned from my side hustles and businesses, where I believe there can be long-term growth, and then all of a sudden that money is collecting compound interest and making me more money, which long-term grows over time and it can turn into another stream of income. And of course, the third takeaway, and I say it all the time, is to take massive action action. I am an average person. There's nothing special about me. I never got the best grades in school. I dropped out of college. I've made my fair share of poor decisions. I've lost tens of thousands of dollars with bad business ventures, side hustles. All I can say is that you must always take massive action, and I hope that watching this video, it can inspire you. Like, maybe I'm gonna go out and learn about these different side hustles, and I'm gonna find 5 or 6 that might work for me, and I'm gonna choose the best one, and I'm gonna put all my time and energy and maybe a little bit of money into learning that business and just giving it all I have. Because a couple times in my lifetime, there were times where my back was against the wall. I was down. I just thought nothing was going my way, and I could have gave up, but I kept going and I kept pushing. I think that's the case for any business out there, that if you stay consistent enough, great things are gonna happen. Anyways, I hope this video inspired you. I hope that you enjoyed hearing my story, and hopefully it can inspire and motivate you to go out and also financially change your life. So if you enjoyed this video, hearing my story, and you got any value or inspiration from it, I would greatly appreciate it if you smashed that like button. If you have any comments or questions regarding anything I went over, feel free to comment below. If you are interested in seeing more content just like this on how you can create an additional stream of income online, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you all in the next video.